Sol Yanim, My Left Side. The series will tell you how the secrets of the Kudluso family, a symbol of glorious and happy life, are knotted together, as well as the secrets of mother and her daughter trying to get used to their new life in a neighborhood after living all the glory of wealth. Sarah, who learned to stand on her own 2 feet at a young age and took care of her mother, and Selim, the heir to the wealthy Kudluso family, in exchange for Sarah and her mother's modest neighborhood life, Kudluso Minor and the family's glamorous luxury life will be at the heart of the story. Sarah, a very successful student, studied on a scholarship. Selim continued almost out of obligation, and then North University will present fun and immersive stories about university life. Kara Para asks, Black Money Love. Omar is a police officer. After the death of his fiancée, he suffers great pain. Sybil, Omar's fiancee's body, was found on the top of a cliff in a car next to a fairly old, rich businessman. After the shock of her sudden death and the accusations of his love cheating on him, Omar realizes that there is more behind a suspicious murder. He decides that he will do anything in order to find his fiancee's murderer and to prove to everyone that she was not cheating on him. On the other side, Elif, the middle child of 3 girls of Ahmed and Zerin, loses her father to a murder where his body was found in the same car as Omar's fiancée. While still grieving after her father's death, Elif is threatened by dangerous men in order to find millions of dollars worth of diamonds that her father had stolen in order to pay all of his debts that his family were unaware of. After Elif finds out that her father was involved in the black money market industry, she gets involved with the father's dirty works and pairs with Omar, both of them desperate to find out who is in charge of the murders of both of their loved ones. Little do they know that the leader of the industry is a man who Alice sees as her uncle, a man who knows all of their secrets, and a man who is always one step ahead of Elif and Omar. Magnificent Century. At the age of 26, when his reign began, Sultan Suleiman sought to build an empire more powerful than Alexander the Great and to render the Ottomans invincible. Throughout his 46-year reign, his fame as the greatest warrior and ruler of his age spreads both to the east and west. With his companion Pargali Ibrahim, Suleiman achieves great victories and makes his name known in the Muslim world. Suleiman called Ibrahim his brother, friend and advisor. The TV series shows Suleiman's consolidation of his power, Pargali Ibrahim being Grand Minister of State, reinforcing the rule of law throughout the empire, meeting foreign diplomats, and preparing for military campaigns, all set against the backdrop of the tension between Christian Europe and Ottoman Empire. The series also focuses on the relationships among the members of the imperial household, especially romantic entanglements and rivalries. The animosity between Haram Sultan and Mahidevran Sultan, mother of Sultan's eldest son, and the role of Hafsa Sultan, the Walide Sultan, Haram's rise as Suleiman's favorite while pregnant with his son, her falling from favor several times and her eventual return to grace, Pargali Ibrahim's entanglement with Hafize Sultan, the Sultan's sister, and many others. Sense El Kapimi, You Knock on My Door. Eda, who pins all her hopes on her education, confronts Sarkan, who has cut off her international scholarship, which leaves her with a high school diploma only. Sarkan offers Eda to give her scholarship back on condition that she pretends to be his fiancée for 2 months. Although Eda initially rejects the offer out of hand, she sees herself compelled to accept it when conditions changes overnight. While pretending to be engaged, Sarkan and Eda embark on an insanely passionate yet challenging relationship that will make them forget all they know that is right. Love may be difficult, but that is why it is so amazing. Kara Sevda, Endless Love. Kemal Soedre is the son of a middle-class family. Nihan is the daughter of wealthy socialites, Ondar and Vildan. She also has a twin brother Ozan, whom she loves dearly. Ondar's business is slowly coming to an end, and Vildan, unable to give up her luxurious life, wants Nihan to marry Emir, who holds a deep love for Nihan. But Nihan is appalled to the idea as she despises Emir, for she finds him ruthless and arrogant. In his last year in mining engineering, Kemal meets Nihan when the latter helps her buy a bus ticket. The pair fall hopelessly in love at first sight, and Nihan completely changes Kemal's monotonous life. Love is impossible because of the class difference between them, but they manage to be together. That is until Amir stages an accident that results in Ozan killing a girl. To prevent Ozan from going to jail, Nihan agrees to marry Amir. The next day, she goes to meet Kemal at the port, where he proposes to her when between tears, Nihan sadly turns down his marriage proposal and ends their relationship. Heartbroken, Kemal leaves Istanbul and goes to Zonguldak to work in the mines. He isolates himself in his work, and one day, following his actions to help in an accident at the mine, Kemal is promoted and assumes a position of power in the company. 5 years later, Kemal makes the decision to return to Istanbul to face his past. Kuzgun. Kuzgun is a mafia-style crime drama that tells the story of the Bilgin and Sebeki families. Rifat and Yusuf are police officers and partners whose families are inseparable. Their children Kuzgun and Dila are childhood sweethearts who also grew up together because of the close-knit nature of both families. Unfortunately, Sultan, Dila's mother, is sick with cancer and Rifat is unable to get the necessary drugs. During the sting operation, Yusuf and Rifat uncover a cartel's drug consignment. They offer bribes. Yusuf refuses, but Rifat succumbs to temptation, selling Yusuf out and aiding in setting him up by planting drugs in his home, which the police find and arrest him. The mafia breaks into Yusuf's house looking for the tape of the drug bust that Yusuf hide away and force Mariam, Kuzgun's mother, to make an unimaginable choice to give up one of her children. She chooses Kuzgun, a choice that will haunt her for the next 20 years and beyond. Yusuf eventually dies in prison. 20 years after, Kuzgun returns thirsty for revenge and plots his way into the heart of the mafia crime ring. The past and present collide violently with deadly ramifications for all. Arkansi Kas, Daydreamer. Sanam has a grocery store with her father, Nihat. Sanam, who opened a grocery store every morning to replace her father, who had shortness of breath every morning from an early age. She is a natural, cheerful and full of life young girl, opposite her older sister Lale. When Sanam hears that her sister is looking for a job at the women's magazine counters, she'll be the head of the work and the adventure begins on the show. Aziz, the magazine's boss, has two sons, Can and Amre. Sanam suddenly finds herself in interesting events after starting to work in a magazine where things aren't going so well. The intimacy between Khan's portrayal of the boss son, Khan, and the coincidences changes the direction of events. With an extremely adventurous spirit, Khan is a sportsman who loves nature away from the small accounts of city life. These features will also lead to the establishment of a special bond with Sanam.